Hey, it's Dennis O'Brien here on Friday, March 7th without Susan Johnson. Unfortunately, Susan had to go with her mother to the doctor. Her mother is 95 years old and had to go to a doctor kind of suddenly. She's going to be okay, but Susan's not going to make it today. But we got a great show for you today. Susan and I had a wonderful experience last night. We went to a basketball game, high school girls basketball game at Windham High School. And Windham High School was playing in the quarterfinals. You probably may have read about it in the paper already today. May have seen it on the internet. But Windham High School girls won 67-30 over a team combined from East Windsor and Bloomfield. And they're rated 9th in the classification that Windham is in. You may recall that last year Windham girls went all the way to the finals last year and lost to a really tough St. Paul's team from Bristol. Bristol schools, St. Paul's is always tough. I know when I played basketball in high school, we used to play them in a scrimmage before the season, and they were tough back then. I played at New Britain High. Anyway, Coach Rob Mangual is going to be here. He's going to walk into the room in a minute or two, just contacting his assistant coaches. They're going to be coming in too. And we're going to talk about the team. We're going to talk about what's ahead for them, what's happened, some of the players, and it's going to be a great show because I have a. You got to let him in. Okay. Okay. He's stuck outside again. Okay, and anyway, this place is locked up like Fort Knox, and you got to know the codes and. I got my code from Wayne Norman gave me the code so I can get through that door, but Rob Mangual did not have it. Rob, great to have you here.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'll tell you, I don't know if you saw what I wrote on Facebook, but I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited. I never calmed down. That game was so great. I mean, it ended up being a very decisive win, but that you were only up by 10 at the half. And I mentioned before you came in to the listeners that, you played combination team East Windsor and Bloomfield. When I saw our former superintendent there, you know the superintendent.
Yep, Tracy Lambert.
Tracy, no, not Lambert.
What is it, Tracy?
Oh God, I can't. All of a sudden, I can't think of her last name. I'm getting to the age where. Yeah. Anyway, she was the superintendent. When I saw her there, I assumed she was there to back her old Windham team, but then Susan said to me, no, they're partially Bloomfield, and she's now superintendent in Bloomfield, whereas I guess she taught for 16 years. Anyway, it's great to see her there. Great to see the crowd. One thing I said also about a Windham girls game. You go to a Windham girls game, I see people.
Last name was Youngberg, I think. That's
Tracy Youngberg. That's right. That's right. You got it. You beat me to it. Well, you're younger. Tracy Youngberg, by the way, was a four-time all-conference first baseman at AIC Division II softball. A really good athlete. I don't know if she played basketball, but I know you did, right? You played basketball.
Yeah, I played at Windham High School.
Yeah.
Yep, coached by Bill Strand. Played middle school. Coach Switchenko was my coach. Yep. Okay. Paul Martineau actually coached me in travel. He coaches the boys basketball team.
He sure does.
So, yeah. Mark Gilday actually coached me also. Great coach. Rest in peace.
We got great coaches in this town. I'll tell you, I know their coaches up and down from amateur sports to the high school. I mean, you and I met coaching together 7 years ago.
Yep, third and fourth grade.
Third and fourth grade.
Yep.
We had mostly third graders that year.
Yeah, I remember.
Because I know we got, you got Asia Harris.
Yep.
And of course your daughter, Maya.
Yep, Maya Mangual. Yep.
Maya Mangual, I thought was the big scorer on the team.
Yeah, back then, yep.
Yeah, she was, and she went to the basket very, very well. And she saw me last night at halftime, and she recognized me immediately, and she gave me a big smile, and it made my night. It was great, because, you coach all these kids for years. I coached softball for almost 40 years, and you run into these kids, and they remember, and it's one of the, you understand it as well or even better than I, because you probably are doing more and have done in the last, several years for youth sports in our town than anybody. Yeah, and I actually nominated you for Cupid a few years ago.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, I did. I wrote a letter. I couldn't find it. I was going to try to pull it out, but you didn't make it. But
yeah, that's fine.
Maybe someday. Someday.
They have some good candidates, some good choices. Yep.
Oh, he had a good choice this year. Jamie Eves and Kid Eves, very deserving.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I love the way you coached. I love the way you coached when I worked with you. You understand the game completely. Where you played a lot of ball, and you played ball in the modern era. See, when I played, it was more a shooting game. In fact, when I started, it was two-hand set.
Oh, wow.
Shooting long jump shots until I got to be 10th grade.
They didn't have a three-pointer back then, did they?
No, they did not. They did not. A lot of guys would have, that would have been good for me. I could, especially the high school three-pointer. I could certainly make that. The pro, I don't think so. That's a heave. A guy like you could probably do it. But anyway, you've been coaching at the high school for how long now?
This is my third year.
Third year.
Yep.
Okay, and last year, second in the runner-up.
Yep, runner-up. Class S, lost to a great team, St. Paul's, by 7 points.
I was there.
Yep, it was a heartbreaker. Speech we give the girls is we don't want to have that feeling this year. So just one game at a time. We got 2 more games, and we could just win it.
You know, I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan, and that's what the Eagles did before they went into the Super Bowl. They talked about losing the Super Bowl 2 years ago to the Chiefs, and the guys that were on the team, Jalen Hurts and some of the guys, and they said, we don't want to have that feeling again this year. We want everybody to have the feeling that we win it, and we win it all together. And you certainly have the players and the coaches to get it done. And I'm looking forward to seeing that happen. I don't think I can make it to. You're playing Monday, right?
Yep, we play Monday at New London.
At New London.
7 o'clock.
Okay, so I couldn't make that game anyway. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Derek? Shania? Hi, Dennis O'Brien. Derek, you know me.
Yeah,
we live around the corner.
Yes, sir.
We got the 2 assistant coaches here, Shania Slyman, big scorer at Wyndham High School. I know that. I remember reading about you in the Chronicle. I keep up with sports pretty much, and kids sports. I used to coach a lot myself, but not officially in school.
What do you want me to say?
Don't be afraid. I'll be. Okay, Shania's going to sit next to me. So you got 2 excellent assistants, and I was just saying before you guys got here that I was at the game last night with Susan, and Susan is not a big sports fan, but my wife, Susan Johnson, but she was so into that game, watching those girls. She loves to see girl sports because she's a girl and a woman, and she thinks it's great because when I was young, there weren't a lot of opportunities for girl sports. I'm 81 years old, and I think it's really, really important. And this team is so exciting. I mean, the way they play the game, the way you guys coach them, it's just fantastic. So anyway, you won last night, and you're playing on Monday, and you're playing Stonington again. 4th time.
Is he talking this one?
Yeah. Okay. And 4th time, Derek. So what's going to happen? I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you for your strategy. Okay, we'll keep that secret. I think you know what you want to do. You played them 3 times already.
Yeah, they've played us. This will be our 4th time. They know us. We know them.
Yeah.
We know that they're long. We're a little challenged in that area, but I think we'll be prepared. We're always prepared. And over the past 3 seasons since Coach Lex has been here, we've played them so many times. It's always been a tough game. So we expect a battle from them. We do. So.
Yeah, I looked at the scores of the games, and they were a lot tighter than last night. Mm-hmm. Okay, the team you played last night, they played hard. They played a good first half, and I thought they were smart to play a zone. But, and it worked out fairly well for them for a while because some of your shots weren't dropping. I mean, although you got some really good outside shooters. You got Anaya and, of course, Jay Lee's and even Zoe. When I first saw Zoe, it was when I was working with Rob 7 years ago. We coached the team together in rec, and Zoe beat us in the finals. She just beat us.
She had like 15 points by herself.
She had 15 points and about 15 assists.
Yeah.
Because our players, who was guarding her? Yes, we had Asia on the team.
Oh.
And Asia, I remember, Rob, you used to go, get the ball, Asia, get the ball, go get it.
Yeah.
I still remember you saying that. And the other thing I remember you saying all the time at practice, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.
I'm still telling her that.
Yeah. Not just her, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. But Asia Asia was amazing at going after the ball. What she did last night, when she made two hoops in a row, that was something that I thought, it made me think of John Havlicek. Because John Havlicek would do stuff like that. He'd make a basket and he'd go steal the inbounds pass and score. But she made 2 steals. She scored off a steal in the backcourt, and then she stole the inbounds pass and scored again. That was amazing. That was amazing. I've never seen that happen in all the years I watched basketball.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach will say this too. She's our energizer.
Yeah.
And certainly we thought that we were playing their game yesterday, and we played at their pace. So when we went into the locker room at halftime, we told them to get their energy up, and she's at the forefront of that. So once she got energized, the whole team got energized. That's why we went on a 26-2 run.
Yeah, you started the press too, and that I think I know I was a guard in high school, and I could shoot really well, but I never had much of a left hand. There were a lot of guys that only played with one hand back then. This is back in the 50s, and I loved to play against the zone. Because I could shoot, I fill up the basket. But if you pushed me, I would. Oh no, God, they're pressing me. And I like to press other people. I like to play defense. But your press worked so well, and you just ate them up. You frustrated the heck out of them. And I would have been frustrated too if I was on the other team. Really frustrated. You know how it can be. I've been on the side of games where I was blown out, and I've been, on the other side. Being on the winning side is a lot better. So, Shania, tell us a little bit about your high school career at Windham High.
I played 3 seasons. I transferred the middle of my freshman year, so I was too shy to come out. I didn't want to start middle of the season. I scored 1,000 points, and yeah.
Well,
She was also an All-Stater her senior year.
Well, you're also an All-Stater. I know your name was in the paper all the time. I read some of the younger people I know don't read the Chronicle, but I read the Chronicle and I read the sports, and I try to keep up with the kids. And I remember you quite well. And who was coaching you at the time?
Valier.
Oh yeah. That's the last state championships they won. Did your daughter play for that team?
Yeah, both of my daughters.
You had both of your daughters?
Shania played with my youngest daughter, Tamia.
Okay.
And Taylor, my middle daughter, was on the last state championship team.
I remember that because I remember my wife got a plaque for them. We had a little event at the high school. That was nice. And I talked Wayno into he said he was trying to figure out what to do on July 4th. So I said, Wayno, why don't you march down the middle of the road with the basketball team bouncing basketballs?
I remember that.
And he did it. And he loved it. It was just great. So anyway, this team, I have never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, what you did coming out of the half, you guys did exactly the right thing. I mean, we know that because it worked out, the press. See, I grew up watching Red Auerbach's teams. The Celtics, he would play 10 guys. He wouldn't take Russell off for the second quarter, but he would take, Sam Jones would come in, KC, because Sharman and Kuzi would play the first quarter, and they would just run the other team right out of the gym. They'd fast break, full court press the whole game, and they would just beat them up. So it's a if you're the better team, you want to make it a longer game, I think, and you do that with speed. Anyway, so as you've played Stonington 3 times already, they're obviously not a pushover, and as you know, I mean I think a lot of people are assuming that you're going to win, and what do you have to say about that, Rob?
Hey, that's why we play the game. They have a great coach in Paula Solis. She's been there for 30 plus years, but we'll be prepared. We like our chances, but that's why we play the game. We'll be playing on a London neutral site because it's a semifinals. So we're excited. Our girls are excited. We just came back. We just came from practice actually right now. We practice tomorrow morning and we practice Sunday to get ready for the game on Monday.
Yeah, I know I would do that if I were you. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't practice it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Last night was watching film. Just watching them. See, they played last night too. They beat Northwestern. It was a close game.
And that was Stonington. Now the other 2 teams are
You have other side is Bacon versus Seymour.
Oh, Bacon from Colchester.
Yes.
Yep, we played Bacon. A regular season, we beat them by, was it 5 or 6?
Yes.
So they're tough.
Yeah, they're tough.
They're good team.
And the one you lost one game, and was that New London?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we lost in London. Yep, at
Okay.
Wyndham.
At
We
Wyndham.
lost by 5 or 7.
40-35, something like that.
Yeah.
I checked the scores, but I wasn't sure because it was so long ago. Because you guys have won like what 18, 19 straight.
Man, I haven't checked yet, but
Well, it's up there. I mean, because you lost early in the season.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
we're 24-1 right now.
So when you do your practices, and I've worked with Rob on practices, and when I first started with him, I signed up to coach because they told me they didn't have a coach for a team. So I said, well, I want kids to play. That's my thing. I want kids to play. So I signed up, and then they told me, oh, there's another guy too who could help you coach. And of course, Rob is a take charge guy. I am too. I'm a former judge. I don't usually give up authority very well.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I let him. He was the boss, and plus he's a lot bigger and stronger than me, and I'm a lot older. In fact, once in a while we would get out on the court and play with the kids, and he would guard me and I would guard him, and I didn't come out of that too well. Of course, I was 73 years old, and I believe me, Rob, I was a lot better when I was younger.
Yeah. We
But
had a good
anyway,
year that year. I remember we only lost 2 that Chaplain team, huh? That year?
We beat the Chaplain team in the first game, and then we had a real bad experience in Columbia. I don't even
Oh, yeah, I
want to talk
remember.
about that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I went to a party that night, and I almost cried telling the guy about what happened. We got blown out.
Yeah.
Well, they were a team that had almost all fourth graders, and they were real big.
Yep.
And we were not big, and we had third graders, and we were not good at putting the ball in the hoop.
Basket, yeah.
In fact, I was just saying before you guys got here, Amaya was our scorer. Amaya could score. She could go to the basket really well, and she could convert. Asia, who could steal the ball a lot, it was hard for her to get the ball into the basket. She'd sometimes go so fast into the basket, like I did when I was a young kid. You'd hit the baskets so hard, the backboard so hard it would bounce out to the foul line.
Yeah.
But she was so fast and so quick and great athlete.
Yep.
And she's only a 10th grader. Only a 10th grader. But you're too old. You have 2 seniors?
2 seniors, yep.
Can you all talk a little bit about those 2 seniors? Because I know those kids since they were 6 years old.
Hey, yeah, they're great leaders. Anaya Jenkins is a great leader. She scored 1,000 points earlier this season. She'd been a 4-year starter at Wyndham, varsity starter. She was an all-stater last year. She was Player of the Year this year for the whole ECC's Division 1, 2, 3, and 4. She's gonna play college, so she's pretty good. And we have Jaylee Rivera. She committed to Nichols College. Just scored 1,000 points last night. She's a 3-year starter at Wyndham. Potential could be all-stater this year. She's a motor of our team also. She can score. Girls love her. She's just a pure person, and she's great.
Yeah, those 2 kids are terrific. Like I said, I've known them since they were 6.
Played softball back then, right?
Played softball. They played softball. In fact, Anaya stuck with it for quite a while, and I think came kind of late to basketball. I coached Kirk when Kirk was a kid.
Oh, wow.
I used to have a little pal program at the Y, and Kirk was on my team. You imagine coaching Kirk Jenkins in basketball? He could dribble and handle the ball, but he couldn't shoot much. He was very small.
Yeah.
A lot of the small kids, like my granddaughter Maggie. Maggie didn't like it because she couldn't score.
Yeah.
And she quit. She's still playing softball.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. She's a pitcher.
What school she goes to?
She goes to a magnet school in East Hartford. Not my choice, but that's where she goes.
Yeah.
And she'll probably be pitching varsity this year. She's 10th grade.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wanted to get her to go last night, but I didn't know where she was, and because she knows Asia real well,
Yeah.
and she knows Maya real well, and they would have loved to have seen each other.
Yeah.
But anyway, those 2 girls, those seniors, they're special. And I don't have to tell you that. You know them better than I do now.
Yeah.
But amazing, and I got a comment on the. You remember last year when you played in the finals, and you had a real tough time with a lot of height, and that wasn't only a tall team. They were good and tall. St. Paul's, they were tough, and they were well coached, just like you guys are well coached. and it was a tough match. But in the second half, Jaylee's put the team on her back, and she was amazing. My wife was just out of her mind with Jaylee's and the way she played. She was just amazing. She had a wonderful game. Last night, Anaya shot the ball so well. When she made that rainbow, everybody went, whoa, that thing almost hit the ceiling.
Yep, she had 6 threes last night.
Yeah, she shot the ball very well. And of course, Zoe, who broke my heart and yours 7 years ago in the finals when we played Chaplin, she beat us single-handedly with her driving and ability, and so let her shoot from the outside. She'd go right by him because she could handle the ball both hands really well, even when she was little.
Yeah.
And she's not that big now, but she's very strong.
Yep.
And wow, having her, I mean, she must have moved back to Wyndham, I guess. Because I think she grew up in Wyndham.
Yeah, they were, I think, in Wyndham. Then they moved to Chaplin. Now they live in Wyndham now.
Wonderful, wonderful having her on. I mean, you got a great team, and you got this girl Green. I don't know that girl. I get upset when I don't know these kids because that kid didn't play in my program. But she's good.
Yep.
Yep.
We got 4 sophomores that are actually pretty good. We have Jada Green, Amaya Mangual, Zoe Robbins, and Asia Harris.
I'd say that's real good.
Yeah, those are good 4 sophomores.
Yeah.
And with those 2 seniors, our team is really good.
And when you put, do you play JV games?
Yeah.
You do. So when you two as the head coach of the JVs?
Yeah.
I'm the JV
You are.
coach.
Tell us about the JVs.
It's
I played a year of JV.
It's amazing because it's like a learning process for them. From the start of the season to the end, they've grown and improved so much. So.
Yeah, I know one of your kids. I can't think of her name. She played softball. The big girl, real big, strong girl.
Aaliyah.
I love that kid.
Yep. She's a varsity first baseman.
Oh, she is now.
Yep.
She begged me to play first base several times. I told her, you got to stop catching the ball like this because it goes boom, boom. I always go to the girls' nest and go boom, boom, boom. So I finally got her to get the hands up when it's up to here. But when she got a hold of the ball, wow, she's very strong. She scored last night, and you put the JVs in, they look pretty good.
Yeah.
You must have been proud.
Yeah, definitely. Jolie Mars, she plays great defense. She's fast. She moves her legs good. Coach Lex taught Aaliyah how to post up, so she did that well.
She's going to be very good at posting up. I can see her posting up. Yeah. Take advantage of her size, and she's very strong. And I was pleased that, in fact, she had another good opportunity to score when she was inside, but she got under the basket a little bit too far. But she'll learn. She's a good kid. She's a good kid. You had one kid too from the JVs that we got to take a break in the middle of the show, commercial break. It goes fast, and I talk a lot, so don't please chime in. Rod knows that. Anyway, you had one girl that I think it was number 11. The girl was dribbling high up and down the court, and she could handle the ball really well. I was really impressed by that. She's a JV.
That's the one that Jolie Mar.
No, Jolie Mar's 10, right?
Oh, no,
11 is X.
Zayana.
Anyway, I was impressed by the way she could dribble that high up and down the court and not get the ball taken away from her. I mean, she handles the ball really well with both hands. So there's a lot of potential there.
No, they've all improved over the season. That's what's good about the JV program, and having a former player coach them. They look up to her. So they've all improved, and Amaya played a little JV, so the more you play, the better you get, and she's gotten so much better for us. So.
You know it. That's the way. That's what I always tell the girls all the time in every sport. The more you play, the better you get. You think Larry Burgess learned how to play? Magic Johnson, those guys are out there all the time with basketball. Anyway, we got to take a break now. It's time for our commercial break, and we really appreciate our main sponsor, the Gates Automobile Group. They've been sponsoring this show. Let's talk about it with me and Susan Johnson for 25 years, every Friday night. And I really enjoy it because I get a chance to have some great people on the show and catch up with other people I haven't seen in a while. It's nice. And for you, I'm just meeting you for the first time. I've met Derek and, of course, Rob. Okay, we'll be right back after this message from our sponsors. Hey, Dennis O'Brien back on Let's Talk About It with the coaches from Wyndham High girls team And we've been talking about the next several days, and the coaches are you got practices every day until your game.
Absolutely.
Yep.
What's your theory? What's your strategy on practice in terms of not wearing the kids out?
Yeah.
Is that calculated? You figure it out?
Yeah, definitely. Like today, we did a lot of shooting. We watched film. We just finished having a game yesterday, so we try to rest their legs, not run too much.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we start our game plan Sunday, and we play Monday. So it's all about keeping their legs and make sure they're fresh, especially a team like us that we play 6 to 7 girls. So we're not as deep as some teams that have 10, 11 girl rotation.
Yeah, I know. When I coached a lot of summer ball and with really good players from Hartford and all over the area. We used to go to summer tournaments. This guy used to get me to this Angelo's barbershop in New Britain. We used to play all over the place, and I always like to use 10 if I could. But if you got to have the horses. You got to be able to play defense. You can't play if you don't play defense. You can play somebody if they can't score, but not if they can't play defense or won't play defense. Sometimes it's a choice.
Yep.
But I think with you coaches, I'm sure it's not a choice for those players.
Yeah, it's definitely, you got to play defense. You don't play defense, you don't play.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody slacking off on defense.
No, definitely not. If they do, you can hear my voice.
I know that. I've heard your voice before, and I just thought the whole deal was it was beautiful, and I'd love to be in New London tomorrow Monday night, but I'm not going to be able to be there. I know Susan would like to be there too, but so if you win Monday, it's Saturday.
Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, so I'm open those days. We're going to be there because we were there last year, and it was just. The only problem was the final score. But it was it's a great
event. It's pretty packed. It's
it's a beautiful venue.
Yeah, it is.
It's not too big, not too small.
Yeah.
And there's not a bad seat in the house, and I think the seats were kind of rush seats. You could take whatever seats they're not reserved.
Yeah.
And we sat with the superintendent last year down awesome. The corner.
Nice.
And it was just terrific. So you got the only two seniors? There's no other seniors?
Nope, those are the only 2 seniors.
That's still a tough loss. I mean,
definitely.
They're both averaging around 15 points a game. That's a lot of points.
Yep, and they're 2 1,000-point scorers.
Great leaders.
Yep.
And doesn't really they're not bothered on the court. So
no,
they just play their games, and and they've improved every year in every area. If you look at their stats, they've improved every year, and their confidence has improved.
Well, they're smart.
So yeah.
You got to be smart to play well.
Yep.
You got to be smart. You got to be smart to dig in and do what you have to do. And they I know those kids. Those kids have always been super, and their parents are super. I know their parents. I know Michelle and Kirk, and I know Tammy.
Yep.
And what's her husband's name?
Lito.
Yeah.
Jose.
Yeah. Okay, Tammy. I run to Tammy every time I go to the hospital for a colonoscopy. She does that kind of stuff. Her friend was in front of us, and we were talking about that. And she was filming 1,000 points. We were talking about the colonoscopy business. but Tammy's a super person.
Yep.
In fact, when they were with me in the program, they both coached, and Michelle would do the pitching because I couldn't throw strikes anymore. I reached the point where I could not throw strikes. You know Ella.
Yep.
There's a kid that you would love to have, I'm sure.
Yep. Ella Clark.
Ella, I miss Ella. Ella played a lot of softball for me. I was disappointed when she gave it up. She was a heck of a first baseman.
Yep.
She could be a heck of anything. She's a good athlete and a good kid. And she went to EO because she comes from a farming background.
Yep.
She loves farming, and her father's great. Todd. You coach with Todd.
Todd is a good friend of mine.
Yes, he is. He's a great guy. He helped me out with the softball team too when Ella played.
Yep. He coached our travel. Me and him coached travel for many years together.
Yeah, talk about that. I know that you started doing that, I think, after I worked with you in the rec league.
Yep. I made a travel team 4th grade year. With the girls that are sophomores.
What was the name of it? Spartans?
No. So Wyndham Travel was the first thing we did, and then me and Dave Lopez started Connecticut Spartans after we were AAU with my son with the Connecticut Stars. We started our own program together. But the girls in travel went all the way up through 8th grade. Some of the girls went to E.O. Smith, Wyndham Tech. Yeah. We had one girl went to NFA. But our main 4 girls went to Wyndham, so that helped us out.
Oh, that helped out a lot.
Yep.
As you said, the more you play, the better you get.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the better the competition, the better you get.
Yep.
And that's critically important. Well, it was a real thrill for me to see, especially last night. Also, the older kids, but I remember seeing them last year. And I remember seeing Asia last year. Asia played a little bit last year in the tournament, I think.
Yeah, but she started. She started,
but she didn't make as much of a difference as
Yeah.
At least not, well, what she did last night was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's good.
She makes a difference out there all the time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anybody would want somebody like her on the team. She wouldn't even have to score a point. She's amazing. And that's what she did for us when she was young.
Yeah, she's really good.
You want to talk a little bit about the state championship team that your daughter played on, and how that went? And
much like this team, a tight-knit group. They were older. They were all seniors.
Yeah. You lost a lot of players that year.
Coach V just did a great job. I mean, a lot of footwork and scouting the teams before. That was a great team. Taylor was the point guard. Carly Smith, Haley Mather, Danny Rodriguez, and Allie Risley. Those were
Allie Risley from Columbia. Yeah, that's the coach's daughter.
No, it was a great team. Every year, I think from their freshman year to their senior year until they won it, they lost to the eventual state championship. So that helped build them.
Yeah.
Much like if you look at these sophomores now, they're sophomores in class-wise, but game-wise, they're probably juniors because they have a lot of experience that kids their age don't have. So.
Yeah, that's partly because of that AAU stuff and the travel ball.
Yeah, and just the amount of time that they played varsity here at the high school.
Kids today specialize earlier, no question, and that disappointed me. You don't know how badly I wanted to see, Amaya and the other kids on the softball field.
Yeah,
but they decided to specialize in basketball, and I can't argue with that because when I was a kid, I preferred basketball. I always say I hate winter, but the only thing that kept me liking winter at all was basketball. Yep. But I can't do that anymore. You guys are lucky you can still do it, coaching and stuff. And so when you go down to New London it starts at 7:00.
Yep.
What do you talk about the kids' day, and they all have to go to school, right? You can't play when I played, you don't go to school, you don't play.
Same thing. If you don't go to school, you can't play. The girls go to school. It's hard to focus, especially.
It was hard for me to focus. I never played in the tournament.
So I know I coach football also. So you always have the kids excited, and the girls get excited. They're gonna have their lunch and the bus leaves at 4:30. So girls are excited. Girls will be nervous, but it's expected. If you're not nervous, doesn't mean most competitors are nervous.
Everybody is.
Yeah. So they'll be excited and ready for that game. Like I tell the girls, it's just another game. We just got to take care of business. That's something that we talk about. Take care of business, and it's one game at a time. We do that, we'll be fine.
One play at a time, one game at a time.
Yep.
That's the one thing about team sports that I love is that it teaches. Well, I don't play golf. I don't bowl because I don't like games where there's no defense. I love to play defense, and there's always another at bat. There's always another shot. There's always another. You never give up. You learn, and if you learn that skill, it really helps you a lot in life. No doubt about it. So your expectations are positive.
Yep.
You got a great squad. You got girls that can do it. The only thing that you lack is the same thing you lacked last year was height.
Yep.
So if you run into a really tall, good team, it's going to be tougher.
Yep.
But you know what to do.
Hey, one thing as a coach and the coaching staff we did is built our schedule with taller teams. We picked up NFA. They're the second or third biggest school, so we picked them up. They had 2 girls that were 6 feet. We ended up picking up East Catholic.
Oh,
they
wow.
have one of the best centers in the state.
East Catholic is always good.
Yep, she's a
Boys
junior.
too.
She had 1,000 points. She was close to 6 feet. We played Stonington 3 times. We played Coventry had a good team. Coventry had a girl that
6'1", 6'2".
Yep, 6'1".
Yeah, you wiped it
She's a
off pretty
freshman
bad, too.
Yep, but the girl is big, so we try to pick up harder schedule from last year, just to prepare us. So we're ready for tall teams. If we shoot the way we shoot, there's not a lot of teams that can hang with us.
I don't think so. No, I remember reading that. I read everything you say in the papers, Rob. So I remember reading that early in the season about how you deliberately picked up some tougher teams during the season. So how many classes are there in girls basketball?
There's 5 classes. You got the you got the S's, M's, double M, L, and double L.
Yeah, when I played at New Britain, we were double L, but there was only 3 classes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was smaller.
And they go by size of your school.
Yep.
So like someone like A.O. Smith is a L. You have someone like Coventry is a small, and you got us M. But some people, they'll bump you up sometimes with the success.
Yeah.
So the more you win, they'll bump you up.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
You want it to be competitive.
Yep.
And you played the number 9 team in your class last night, and you really handled them quite well.
Yep.
I mean, they were. It was obvious that you had the talent edge on them. There's no question. I had no doubt. I hate to say this, but I had no doubt going in that you were going to win. In fact, I told you I would talk to you after you win the game.
Yeah.
And you certainly did. So, how do you feel about it going into the Shania? Get you talking again. Getting into the. How do you feel going into this game? You were excited, right?
Yeah, super excited. I think I get probably just as nervous as them.
Oh yeah. Coaches get nervous. Fans get nervous.
But I think we're super prepared. Like going into practices, it helps with our confidence going into the game because we work on everything we should work on before a game. I think we're more prepared than other teams probably do.
That's a great point because preparation is everything. When I go to court, I'm always prepared. I spend more time preparing now than I ever did because I need to because I'm older. But preparation is vital.
Yeah, that's something we preach to the girls. If we're more prepared than another team, we'll be fine. And that being said, I want to thank both of my assistants. They help me out so much. They always tell me stuff. Can't do it without them. They don't get enough credit. Derek McBride been coaching at Wyndham High School for 10 years, assistant under Kenny Valier, Andy Gonzalez, myself now. When I came in the first year, he helped me out. There was a lot of new stuff coming in that he told me, hey, this is how we did it before. Just gave me some inputs, and it helped me out. And then when I was thinking about assistant coaches, I was thinking about getting a girl in there. And then Shania popped in my head, a girl that been there, done that, was an all-state player, a girl that could relate to the girls. She works at the school, so it was no better choice than having Shania be there. She's great with the girls. They have a problem. They speak to her. They're always telling her secrets, and I'm like, what's going on? They just giggle. So she has a great relationship with the girls, and I'm happy with that.
Well, that was real smart of you to have a woman as a coach. I think that's cool, and I think you got a great team here, and I think team of coaches and team of players, and I'm looking forward to you guys getting past Stonington on Monday and me being at the.
That's the goal.
Yeah, I'll be there next weekend with Susan, and she's looking forward to it, and we're just gonna be celebrating down in Norwich. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, it's not as you said, that's why they play the games. You never know what's gonna happen. Anything can happen.
That's what we say, one game at a time.
One game at a time.
If you give your 100%, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I want to invite you to come back if you win. bring the players back. I'd love to see them.
Oh, definitely. If we win, we'll be back.
Jam them in here, and we'll get them all in, and
they'll love that.
Oh yeah. They will. And we had Martineau's team a few years ago. There, they came in, and it was great. We had about 6 or 7 of the players, and I saw Paul last night. I love Paul Martineau. I knew him for a long time. He's a good guy.
Yeah, great guy.
He's a really great guy, and he had a really tough game the other night. He was telling me all about it, and I had heard about it, but I just read the Chronicle today. I didn't get a chance to see it yesterday, and I saw how three people fouled out, and that's a woo. Oh, one of the things I noticed that you said you were advising the girls to watch it with the fouls.
Yep.
Got to do that, because I'll tell you, the refereeing. I had a lot of problems with the refereeing, but you know what? I've refereed, and it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
It's a hard game to referee. It's a lot easier to umpire softball.
Oh, definitely. And one thing as a coach, I haven't met a good ref yet. That's something that we always laugh around.
That's true.
Because you have refs. It's a hard job. If you have a coach that you're getting calls, and then there's some coaches that are not getting calls. It's not that they're not doing their job. It's just sometimes if you're losing, they're not good refs. If you're winning, refs are fine.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was coaching really younger kids, and we'd lose the game. They'd always blame it on the referees, on the umpires. Mm-hmm. And we'd say, well, we're blaming the other team cheated. I said, no, nobody's cheating. Just be tough, because there's no. That's one thing about that you have to be careful of, and I know you're aware of this, is that if you haven't lost in a long time. Because there's nothing as dangerous as a team that has lost this last time out. Yep. Or they should be dangerous, because you should be ready to bounce back. So you have to bounce back from nothing, and that's why you have to keep their spirits up and make sure they're aware of the fact that it's not a sure thing.
No, definitely.
I know you well enough to know that you'll do that, because I know how you coach.
Yeah, we talk to them as we're told them how Stonington's going to come out and have energy, and they're going to want to win.
Absolutely.
So we just got to match their energy and come out and want to win too.
Yeah, this is Dennis O'Brien. I'm here, a very lucky man today. I love basketball. I loved being there last night. I was so excited I couldn't sleep last night. I just kept thinking about it, and thinking about all these kids I've known and coached and stuff, and it brought a lot of stuff back to mind. So it's great having you all here today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All the 3 coaches from the wonderful, terrific. They're the best show in town, folks. I mean, if you get a chance to see them, if you can go to London on Monday, if you can go to the casino on Saturday or Sunday,
yep.
Do it, because it's the best show in town. It's a great show. They put on an incredible show for the fans, and also, of course, for the coaches and themselves, and it's just wonderful. So Wyndham High Whippets semifinals on Monday in New London against Stonington. Go Whips, go!
Go Whips!
Go Whips! Okay, thank you for coming in. This is Dennis O'Brien, Rob Mangual, and assistant coaches McBride and Slyman. Okay, see, this is my age showing. Okay, have a wonderful weekend of practices.